This is the weather sensor for the lawn sprinkler system. We're going along the south side of the home. The home faces east. This is the control wire conduit for the lawn sprinkler system. It's damaged right there. You think water can get in there? I do. Down into your electrics for your lawn sprinkler system? I sure do. That's what I think. This is the gas meter as it moves into the home, and it's sealed right here where it comes in. This is your meter. It's off the ground like it's supposed to be. This is your main shutoff valve. That's allowed. If this was plumbing, I mean, this is plumbing, it's gas plumbing, but if this was water, you would be required to be able to use a hand to turn this on and off. But for whatever reason, gas has decided that it's all right. Now, when you take this little ear and put it over to this little ear, then that turns the gas off, okay? Parallel is on, perpendicular is off. This yellow wire right here, this is a tracer wire. That's for the gas company. They can attach to that wire and find out where and follow the gas line. They know where the gas line is. So in case you need to dig, you'll call the gas company out and they will, and there's the other ear right there. So parallel's on, perpendicular's off, and they'll be able to put flags out so that you can have work done. So anytime you dig in this yard, the gas company needs to be notified so that they can tell you how to do it safely. This isn't about gas, this is about electricity, okay? This is your primary, this is your main ground right here. Okay, that's good. And you can't see the grounding rod? That's good. Okay, it means it was properly buried. This is the meter. It's on the south side of the garage, and it's been sealed on 3 sides. See, this is all good for moisture infiltration. That's good, because that's what this is. This is I know I talked about the weather sensor, and I know I talked about the electronics, and I know I talked about the gas line. And while I'm talking about the gas line, I don't see any electrical bonding. I hope to find some electrical bonding inside, but I don't see any. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the electric power is below grade. Grounding rod is properly buried. Now, I sent out a letter of intent letting everybody know that I wanted to be able to get to the electric service panel. And I have managed to get to the electric service panel. But I've moved some things. Alright? I didn't move them far, and I moved them with care, and no damage was done. End of story. Okay, this is the UFO. They misspelled it, they put an extra F in there. But this is your second grounding. You're supposed to have that. This is your electric service panel. You have 200 amps. Okay, this is good. Now, I am inspecting for the location of the AFCIs and GFCIs when it's in a panel like this in an occupied house. I can only test for the locations of it. It's just assumed that they work. You might want to come in here before you take possession of the property and push all these buttons to make sure that these breakers trip. That's what you're supposed to do. And then reset the breakers to make sure that you have power everywhere. Because, right now, all I can do is see where it is. This home is occupied. So what's going on here? Oh, not much. You got your protective covers. You got your white hots labeled black. You got your neutral labeled white. So it's pretty much, you got everything separated right here. It's kind of unfortunate that there's some paint inside of the cabinet, but it's right there at the top. But you're not supposed to have wires touching the cabinet cover. Your bonding location is supposed to be labeled inside of here. There's your energy notice. And this is not supposed to be handwritten. See where it says warning? See where it says square D? Okay, that's called printing. These are supposed to be printed. Your circuit breakers are supposed to be printed. They're not supposed to be handwritten. Another thing that's not supposed to happen here is this cabinet was screwed into place. Screwed into place. Okay, screws are faster and tighter, I get that. But they're not supposed to, faster and tighter, Screws do not have the same shear strength as nails. So if this structure was experiencing a tornado, for example, and your garage got blown up, well, you've already got a bad day. We've already got a bad day. I get that. But if the cabinet had been nailed in place instead of screwed into place, it would stand a better chance of staying in place. As it is now, it could pop out. First responders had to step over to get in there. So it would be, as just kind of, it is what it is. I have instructions. Another thing is, you're not supposed to have more than 1/8 of an inch gap between the cabinet and the wall. Okay? When the cabinet cover fits over the top of this, and you see this gap, so if you had a major meltdown in sparks could get around that. That's why. It's designed. So these should have been nailed in, and the cabinet should have been nailed in proper place. So what did we learn? We learned that the cabinet should have been nailed in, and the cabinet should have been positioned properly. We learned that we do not have a bonding location labeled on the cabinet. We learned that we have handwriting instead of printing on the main service disconnect. And we learned that euphor was misspelled. Haha.